No fucking way, dude. I start working on the bike and it starts to rain. It hasn't rained in literal fucking weeks. I do love that the closer you get to the O'Reillys, the more liquid shit is on the parking spots. That took way too fucking long to find the drain plug, and I still made a mess. Oh well. Look at the torque wrench. Look at me torquing the spec like a professional. Don't you love it when your sulfuric acid eats through its own packaging? I sure do. Look at that. He's squishy. This is really hard to film, but watch. Let's see. Let's see if I can stand you up here. She runs! Got the extra strength vinegar soaking. I got my screws soaking over there. All the nasty tools I used to extract the petcock, which I might have broken, but we'll see, and the carb, which I think I need the special screwdriver not to fuck up, because I don't want to have to extract all of those screws and fuck up my carb. So I finally got the rust out of the inside of that thing. It's looking really nice. I'll send some more photos, but that shit, muriatic acid, is fucking scary. I'm currently neutralizing it with some baking soda. I'm pretty sure this is just carbon dioxide that's off-gassing. It should be fine, but I don't know. I'm gonna stay inside, go far away while that does its thing. Alright, it's done neutralizing. Look at that. That is rust free, dude. Can I show you that? Nothing. Just nothing. Ooh. Like an itty bitty bit right there. But that might just be leftover acid eating away at it. But yeah, the outside I can just deal with a scrubber or whatever. But yeah. So yes, for photo. This is the airbox that I have. And then this side goes in. Like that. Roughly like that. And then it connects to the carb, which would be there. So I understand that part. There would be air filter here and here, I believe, based off of the diagram. And then the piece that goes on top would have a downward spout going into this fuck. That is, I believe, my crankshaft and my transmission. And the belt goes around there. So I don't know why the fuck there's a hole here. There's like, I think those are rollers. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't gotten into this yet, but I think that's like where the CVT rollers are. Connects to this, which connects to, what was the fucking wheel? And the brakes, I don't know. But yeah, that's, I don't know why this exists. I don't know if I can just like trace that around and then make a little outlet for that, and then just enough space to hold whatever fucking filter like foam I use. I don't know if that's all I need or what. But yeah. Why are the bubbles in a grid? What the fuck? You can't make this shit up, man. I broke my extractor bit inside of the fucking screw. Fucking hell, dude. Extractor bit was refundable. A little too hot to work right now, but I've got the fuel tank painted and drying. Got the carburetor all taken apart, right there. A little bucket right there, and the purple one. It's all cleaned out and brushed out. Just gonna wait for that new pilot tube, and then I'm gonna rebuild that, stick it back in that thing, put in the gas tank, and then see if I can get it to boom, 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 boom. I've also started on the 3D model for the replacement air like cover. It's a bit more complex than I thought, but I think I can still model it, and I'll have some fun with that. It's a little late, but I was going to replace the throttle and the throttle cable. I thought it was going to be a quick thing. Turns out all of the screws got stripped, and I need to extract them. And it's too dark to do that, so I was like, okay, maybe I, take off the mirrors at least, just to get that started. And one of these, or both of them, are very, very rusted. One of them is counter-threaded, or opposite threaded. So one of these is lefty-loosey, while the other is lefty-tighty. I don't know which one. Yeah. Also, so I did a bit more 3D modeling, and I realized this ship has 2 fucking holes, and this is open on the other side. I have a few other photos that show that this is just open. That's like an open square on the other side. What? Why are there 2 holes? I feel like there needs to be a reason, and like this ramps into the piece, so there's a little like into the piece compared to the rest of it. I feel like that's important, that they wouldn't do that for no reason, but like, do I model that? I really don't know. Do I just make it like, I could do the 2 holes, I just won't do the ramp, and then guess how big this is meant to be? I don't know. I also forgot these fucking shits existed, and instead of like just measuring the distances and hoping I get the angles right on the model, I can just measure it. And turns out they use pretty sensible angles. That's a 45, that's a 65. I haven't measured these yet, but they're probably more sensible angles, so I should measure more with my newfound measurements. Yeah, I'm scrapping this model. This is getting deleted. Bye bye. With taking this part out, I'm really learning that, like, you have to let the rust catalyst just kind of do its magic. Be a little patient. Take time. Sometimes your screws that long, and the rest just kind of doesn't work on your time scale. It works on its time scale. That, and I'm getting pretty good at using extractor bits. So because I ordered the 3D printer, I'm realizing my existing gasket cord stock is way too thick for this, and it's got that weird hole in it. I think I could still make it out of just existing cord stock. I could get an O-ring that size and then use cord stock to fill in the rest. I'm wondering if I could use like a TPU filament and just 3D print this size. I wonder how much that filament would be. Okay, I've been hammering on these mirrors for like 20 minutes, and I think this is gonna break before I can get this off properly. So I'm gonna fucking cut it through there, cut a slit in, jam whatever tool I can in there, and just pry it the fuck off, because I can't get a hold on that. Yeah. Alright, step 1. I didn't think that would be solid, but it is. And my blade is dull. My dullest blade. Look at Klein Tools. Being all smart and shit, I'm like, oh, I don't have a socket big enough to go around that handle. Just kidding. Put a hex on there. 11 mil. Actually, it's probably an SAE, not metric, but 11 mil fits. So I just stick a thing on there and then wrench it down. Don't have to worry how big the handle is. Fucking genius. Someone was thinking. Okay, I was able to cut the slit. And I tried jamming a screwdriver in there, but it just doesn't get deep enough, and I don't have an appropriate tool to just make that wider. So I might instead see if I could grind down 2 sides, and then with my file and see if I can just slid a wrench into there, and then see if I can wrench that out. I think that might work. Okay, I did the side thing, and then I used the wrench and a bunch of wrenches and a bunch of force, and I'm just stripping it out. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's just camming out, and using a lot of force. Got no fucking clue what's up, and I'm starting to think it might literally be easier to just cut through the plastic and just repair the plastic. That might be what I do. It's getting hot. I'll drink some water, think about it, but I might just cut the plastic. Behold, the longevity. Yo, check out my new gas tank. Got that aftermarket petcock super glue because I needed to get inside of it. Look at that. It doesn't seal all the way. If you can see, the sealing like gasket isn't pressed in. From a recycled vinegar bottle. Super glue. There's my new gas tank right there. Okay, I was getting ready to do the first idle test, but turning the ignition, I was able to hit the horn once, and then it hasn't worked since. I looked at the fuse, and it actually looks fine. I think you can see that. There's a spare fuse in there too that looks fine as well. I haven't replaced it yet, but this is also reading, but again, it looks fine. This is reading 12 volts, and this is new, but it's been sitting for a week. I'm gonna hope that it just needs to get charged. It's running 12 volts, but maybe the amps are just not high enough. I think, maybe, hopefully. I don't know. That's what I'm gonna do though while I do chores. It's charging, fingers crossed. Doesn't outright say it's bad yet, so I don't know. I'll wait till that stops. It was just a fucking battery. Let's fucking go. Just a quick. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Although it's telling me the oil is bad. I definitely put oil in there, so I'll have to check in on that. But is that oil? I should check the dipstick. Anyway, but yeah, it was just a battery. Fuck yeah. I did replace the fuse though, so it might have been the fuse, but let's fucking go. Well, I don't think it's coming up on camera too well, but it's leaking gasoline. Looks like it's from the bottom of the bowl. So there's either, in the overflow, it's either leaking from there, or the float is just sticking, I think, from what I've researched. So I'll take it back apart, run a few tests, see what's going on. It doesn't seem to be the line. I don't think it's my fuel line. That seems dry, and that seems dry as well. I'm not sure if it's showing. So I don't think it's my line. I think it really is the carb. So we'll take it out, do a test, see what happens. Just taking a video of this connector, which goes to the carb. Got the new one. It doesn't fit, so I'm gonna have to break it. Okay, Lewis, so I think you've done this before, so I want your advice on this. I have the new carb there, and it's a little weird, but I can reroute things, and I think I'm pretty confident with that. But the vacuum line with the old carb was built into it directly, so it doesn't have the like plug in here, but the new one does require that. And I looked at the Riva 180. I have the 200. The 180 uses the same intake manifold, but it has a valve in there. So you know what, I never checked for the price of that. If it's the same intake manifold, I might be able to just buy that. But I was thinking I could drill a hole into there and then tap it with a new vacuum hose, because it looks like, again, it's the exact same piece, and the old ones have one right there. So I wonder, how do I do that if I were to do that? But I'll check the price for 180 first if it's the same piece. I feel like I have a very Mr. Bean plan type going on. So I'm gonna connect the battery, right? Put in gasoline, and then set the petcock to prime so that it'll just go all the way. I don't have to worry about that. But then I want to make sure that the vacuum line isn't what's causing it to not idle properly. So I'm gonna stick this in my mouth and like suck on it, and while at the same time, because the auto choke uses a different connector from the regular one, I can't connect these until I get a new connector. So I'm gonna have to use starter fluid. So I'm gonna have this in my mouth, starter fluid over here, and then pressing the button to start it. This is how you get a scooter to run every time. Watch this. Almost. It'll go. I need to not mess with this though. I need to bring that way up. But she'll idle. She will idle. It doesn't seem like it needs the vacuum either. I did this test earlier without the vacuum, while sucking on this. Now I'm not doing it. It seems to work just fine. So I think I can get away with not drilling that hole. I just won't. And motorcycles in California don't need to pass emissions, so I think I can get away with just not. I think I'll just run this to the petcock, seal off the other side, and then call it a day. Which is awesome. Oh my god, that's so awesome. I will need to run a new throttle cable too though, because this is too short and this is the wrong side. You see the throttle cable is supposed to go in there and then connect to this so that it twists that way. So I'll need a longer one, but I do think I have one. And then I can just route it like across here so that it goes the other way. Ah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Holy shit, dude. There's a few prototypes in, but it fits. It actually goes in there. It'll need to be put down, but even the other, I think that it's actually this piece that's warped slightly, because it is. That's causing that to not go all the way down, but it is going all the way down if I bend it down. But yeah, I need to move that over. That's pretty spot on. It's just higher, so I had to cut it off so that I could put this down. And then I need to move that about like 2 millimeters to the right, although we'll see where it ends up on the other end. But yeah, it actually goes in. I made the groove, and it fits, and it goes there too. Holy shit. Finally got the engine separated from the frame. That was surprisingly easy, actually. Like, I want to say it was difficult and definitely took energy to do, but it was really not that hard. But you can see on the oil filter, it's I have circle bolts now. So I'm gonna take the exhaust off and then get that off finally, or drain the oil. But yeah. All right, oil is drained. I made a mess. Exhaust is off, and I've already lost my 5mm hex key thing that goes in there, so gotta find that. Very nice. Got the other two out. One is stripped to shit, so it's hacksaw time. Finally got it off. I just I drilled the whole thing through. Yeah, that was the solution. There are 2 hardware stores, one of which had nothing in metric, and 1 automotive store. I now have everything I need to do an oil change. With a bit of angle grinding and a lot of hacksawing because I got scared, I was able to cut a neat hole and get that motherfucker out. The JB bought that bitch. One of the long fucks go here. Regular fuck is here onward, except for one of them, which is the short fuck. There's a short one. What'd I do to the short one? I gotta... One of these is the short one. Probably the bottom ones. Like that one, or that one. Are the short ones. Taking a quick video just to show. It did just pull off. There's like this weird gasket material or something or other. Not sure if this is meant to have a gasket. I'll figure that out in a bit. Got dowel pins. And another one there. So yeah, this is what this looks like right now. And that turns kind of cool. I did notice that like a tube looking thing, but that might just be rust now that I look closer. But yeah, this looks pretty neat. I'm liking it. I need some new heat shielding, I guess. Or I might just clean this up. Not bad, honestly. Not bad. I gotta get the belt replaced, the rollers replaced, which I think is here? Fingers crossed? We'll see. In case I don't have one of these. That's for the headlight. That's headlight too. Disconnect that. Disconnect those. I'm not quite sure what needs to go and what's going to be kept. I'm doing what I can. I think it's mainly going to be like these things, which means it's like the cables, brake cable. The other one, sensor maybe? That's the brake cable. That's a bunch of electronics. That's the throttle cable. Oh, okay. Oh, the speedo. Probably the speedo. This is a big part of it. Okay, well, I think everything's gonna have to get disconnected. I think I'll do the throttle cable. I think I'll take the electronics with the top is probably, I think, the smarter thing to do. Maybe? Or... No, we'll have to work on the throttle the throttle. Take those out first. Make sure those are taken out. And then we'll unscrew this. No. Shit. I think there's enough space to, yeah, just pull everything through. So yeah, I think I will keep it on the bike. Just pull those through, remove it from the thing. Because this will have to go down, the cover. So once I get that bolt removed, I think I can pull that up and pull that down. I think. Fingers crossed. I might look at the manual first. thing goes over there. That. This thing goes on top of it, like that. Ignition, I should say ignition unit. And then this thing went in there. The second one uses that inner one with like the weird stuff on it. The shmoo. I don't know what the fuck this bolt came from, I'll be honest. That cover goes all on top of here. The wheel thing was all in here. Sure you'll get that part. I think the rest is good. Oh yeah, this thing was here. Like the other way, like that. I think you get it. I think that's enough. Okay. On this thing, that P on there, that was the one that goes to the vacuum, and then that T is the one that goes to the tank. This goes into yellow. That which is in there. Which I'm gonna move that. This is a whole bunch of them. Blue, Is this lowered? I think we count this as lowered. Yeah, this is lowered now. It's wild to think that, like, I don't have to reassemble the scooter to test the electricals. In fact, I probably shouldn't. It would be really neat to just plug everything in as is, like this fucking skeleton, and then make sure all the electrical works. And it'll be, like, trivially easy to, like, splice in a wire or what have you. This is kind of wild to think about. Also, I think I've gotten too lucky. I can feel like really small droplets coming down, so I need to prep everything for the rain, which is kind of ironic. But I gotta cover all that up and figure something out. Look at that, clean workshop type of shit, you know? Right? Even swept up. Don't look there.
So
oh yeah,
plastic to work.
it's all coming together.
So today